Welcome to Not Entirely Unlike Tea with Christine Collins. Hey there, it's Christine Collins, and today we are going to talk about how periods of rest or taking breaks are actually highly beneficial for creation process, business events, business tasks, and productivity in general. When we are, quote, doing nothing, the default mode network becomes very active. This is the network that connects brain regions, the medial prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, the posterior cingulate cortex, and these regions specialize in things like future planning, making new connections, innovation, and memory. It allows us to connect different ideas that might seem unconnected in new ways, which means that we might actually have a little flash of ingenuity or a brilliant new idea in the moments that we are taking breaks. And when we are not actively working on something, our brain nevertheless is continuing to process problems in the background. And this is all happening unconsciously. There's problem-solving activity happening. And sometimes when we're very focused on a problem, it can actually inhibit new solutions and creative ideas and problem solving because we're really fixated on a very specific or obvious approach. So resting actually allows different neural connections to come through and create some more original thinking. And this is especially true during sleep, where the brain is moving information around from short-term into long-term memory. There's neural replay where experiences are being reorganized in new ways. And all of this consolidating can help us to form new insights, new patterns from existing information. When we are constantly in a mode of work, we have a more activated stress response, the cortisol, the norepinephrine, and those stress chemicals can kind of narrow our focus and in some ways can reduce flexibility in our thinking and our problem solving. So when we rest, we're reducing some of the stress hormones, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing for a bit more dopamine and serotonin to flow, and that enhances creativity. And so in many ways, having some creative projects that are non-business related can be very beneficial in the long term to our business, even if we're not actively working on it. We can also use tools to help us to get into some of these states, like the alpha brainwave, in which we are highly creative and in which we are better, more innovative problem solvers. And we already know we can do that with tools like hypnosis and yoga nidra, which helps induce those deeper brainwave states, the alpha brainwave and sometimes theta deeper brainwave activity. It lowers the critical mind. The analytical mind takes a little bit of a rest. There's an increase in connection between the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and insula, which increases mind-body integration and allows for more new, innovative ideas to come through. We also get a reduction in stress and overwhelm and anxiety. It can increase release of dopamine. And there's some indication that a little bit of time spent in yoga nidra or hypnosis can actually simulate some of the recovery benefits that we get from sleep. So it's very restorative for our minds and for our brains. We get into kind of a little twilight between waking and sleeping, a hypnagogic state. And those states are associated with higher creativity, better problem solving. There's a reduction in overall noise internally. And it helps us to integrate things. Sometimes we'll get deeper, more satisfying insights and actually be able to solve things that we haven't been able to solve. And when you do it consistently, kind of building it as a little habit, your brain begins to strengthen those neural pathways for slipping into those creative states to where you can do it more intentionally and consistently over time. So when you have the downtime, it's a great opportunity to utilize tools like that to engage in some creative projects that are non-business related and allow your brain to slip into some of these more creative, innovative states. And you may just find that during that downtime, when you come back to business tasks and processes later, you actually re-enter invigorated, but also with some new ideas and some ways to fix things that maybe had been a challenge for you previously. And of course, both hypnosis and yoga nidra are available in my mindset membership, and all of that information is available in the show notes. And until we connect the next time, I wish you the most magical and creative rest of your day. Thanks for listening. This is Christine Collins at transformcreate.com.